3, 2, 1.
This is how we feel. 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 This is how we feel.
Welcome into This Is How We Feel, a show where each week we take a piece of media and tell you how we feel. This week I'm your host, Baby J, here with our guest, R Dizzle.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Today we're telling you how we feel about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The original movie, 1990, guys. We're throwing her way back. So we got a lot to talk about here. Before we dive in, I'm going to take it on over to Taylor's Bachelor Breakdown. Take it away.
Taylor's Bachelor's Breakdown.
Take it away, Tay-Tay. Do it.
Okay, Taylor, your time starts now.
They travel to Costa Rica, solo helicopter ride, so much crying. Peter gets stitches after slamming his head on a golf cart. Then now everyone's in Chile. Magazine shoots. Victoria wins. Lots of making out under waterfalls. Hannah Ann has never been in love. Victoria P gets sent home. Sydney gets sent home. Tammy goes home on the first 2-on-1, only for McKenna to also get sent home. Lots more crying. Champagne Gate 2.0. And that's all I wrote.
You actually had way more time than you thought you were going to have, and that's time. Good job getting 2 episodes into one.
All right. Bachelor heating up as always.
Okay, Tay-Tay. I know I'm in the room every time she does it, but it's still fun to hear it like played back.
I like the enthusiasm. I feel like she really does care about these women trying to fight for this one single man.
Every episode's like 2 hours long, so she's anybody that watches The Bachelor on a regular basis is committed.
Yeah, well, that's enough about The Bachelor. All right, so we're getting into this week's topic. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles counted on. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. I fucking love this movie.
Me too.
Me and my
my
brother
God.
would watch this all day, all night. We had it on VHS. We had 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, you had the trilogy?
We sure did. I remember.
Was it in a box set?
No, I think they were all separate because I remember each individual little cover. Because remember at number 2, they were all
Right.
popping out of the number 2.
Oh, that's true.
But I remember liking 2 more because that's where they have like the ooze gets spread around to different people, so we get different monsters coming in, and we get a whole turtles versus monsters fight. That was like the shit for me as a kid. That was my jam.
It's like Bebop and Rocksteady or something like that are their names.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a warthog and like a.
yeah.
I don't remember what the other thing is.
Which is funny because once you said that, it just reminded me of the new TMNT because there is a warthog and a something else as like the two
with like
little
glass. They have like
monsters.
glasses and shit, and they're
So
like
I
they're
never
like
realized
way
that was
funnier.
Like a callback, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be because they got affected by the ooze too. They're like gangster poser punk bad boys.
Right.
It's like Power Rangers. You remember Power Rangers? How there was that fat guy and that skinny dude that were always like
Yeah.
trying to hang out with the
two
Power
like
Rangers.
street thugs, whatever you want to call them.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, that same parallel is in Sky High. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Oh yeah, fat dude, skinny
the
dude.
fat guy and the
Yeah, and the fat dude is usually like the
Wow.
leader, and the skinny dude is kind of like the our arms crossed, kind of like
yeah. I can
the support.
I get that vibe.
Support bad guy. All right, so usually we'll go piece by piece, tell you who directed it, tell you who produced it, tell you how it was filmed. But today we're just gonna walk through the story. We're just gonna hold your hand, and we're gonna walk on this journey. In case you guys haven't seen the movie, or if you guys have seen the movie, we can just take a little stroll through the garden.
Yeah, we'll discuss the story as it happens, and we'll bring up all that information surely inside of it. I promise.
So the very beginning.
We open up black screen.
We open up black screen. All right, the setting
For a long
is
time.
New York. It was a long black screen, and then
Boom, Twin Towers.
boom, Twin Towers. Yes. First thing I noticed, Twin Towers. Very sad. Anytime I see Twin Towers in a movie, it's like, oh.
The New York skyline, I feel like, has changed so much. Every time you see it in like an old movie, you're like, oh my God, this is what the New York skyline was. Like,
oh my God.
in a moment of history.
Yeah, that's really sad. I can't wait till we go through the Spider-Man movies because he is like jumping all over those things.
Right, yeah.
This at least only had it in the one frame. So we open up.
Yeah.
We've got some new scenes. Apparently, a crime wave is rising in New York
Oh
City.
yeah, all those children thieves.
It's called the silent crime wave. It's all this crime that's not huge, it's not big, but pickpocket, thieves, purses getting snatched away.
It's like God, what's that movie where they're like, watch your pockets as they're walking through the city? You know what I'm talking about? And all these
No.
kids are like running through. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Groot makes the little girl a flower, Justin.
Oh, good callback. I have not seen the original Guardians of the Galaxy in a minute. Immediately, we see a reporter, April O'Neil, and she's covering the mysterious Ninja Foot Clan of this silent crime wave.
And she's fine.
And she is fine.
She's fine in her yellow rain jacket.
You knew she was familiar. You were like, wait, I know that face.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that it was Halloween Town until my girlfriend said it. She was sitting in the room with Dell. She's actually sitting here next to me. You want to say hi to the people?
Hi, people.
She said no, and I shoved the mic in her face anyway.
Well, she deserves the credit because she screamed out that she
Exactly.
is the mom in Halloween Town 1,
Yes,
2, 3, and 4.
I appreciate you for that. I like how they changed Marnie in the fourth one. Didn't change the mom. Mom's same. Everybody else is the same.
Oh, you like that? I fucking screamed. I was like, I don't want to watch this movie. This is not my Halloween Town.
I didn't actually like it. I just meant like it's funny
Hashtag
how.
not my Halloween Town.
No, hashtag not my Marnie.
No, I watched them all. We were doing a whole Halloween fest.
Halloween Town marathon.
I
Oh,
didn't like
man.
live action movies as a kid. I thought they were boring. I was a cartoon kid.
Yeah.
So
We're finding that every time you watch a new movie, you're like, oh, I didn't like this as a kid because it was live action. And I'm like, what?
Either I didn't like it or I just didn't pay attention to the important parts if I did watch it.
But that's what gets me about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it's like, it's live action, but it's cartoony and Muppety enough that's
Yeah.
like, it's almost watchable for anybody no matter what. Like, if you like a live action movie, you can watch it. If you like a cartoon, you can watch it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. And that's like one of the few live actions that I will watch as a kid, only because it has giant Ninja Turtles in it.
Right.
Yeah, Judith Hogue is April O'Neil. She's a Halloween Town mama.
Is she in anything else
also,
besides Halloween Town?
She's also in I Am Number 4, that one movie
Oh!
about kids with powers. She's
Yeah.
the mom to Diana Agron from Glee.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the Papa Don't Preach. Quinn?
Yeah, Papa Don't
Quinn.
I say a little prayer for you.
Yeah, that one. Remember she sang Papa Don't Preach, I'm in trouble now, because she got pregnant by Finn's baby,
yeah,
but it wasn't Finn's baby, it was Puck's baby.
Oh my God, the twist! Forgot
Yeah.
about that. She tried to tell him that it was that one time they were in a hot tub together, and then it just like, I don't know, swam over to her.
Welcome to Happy, the Glee podcast. We're discussing this week Quinn Fabray's pregnancy and the plot twist that it's not Finn's.
This week we're diving deep into Quinn Fabray's legacy as a Lima High School cheerleader.
Now we start with I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, we could do that. We could do a whole podcast about.
We could do a Glee. I could do a Glee podcast in my sleep.
The last
just
time
on
you were
season
over,
1.
I think like the first time I moved into this apartment and you came over, we watched the first 3
watched
episodes
Glee,
of Glee,
yeah.
and we were furious. We were
Those
like,
first 3
why
episodes
did we
are
watch
gold.
this?
No, they're gold. I don't even care because it is kind of cringy, but like.
Oh God, it was so cringy.
Like, why did Mr. Schuster put drugs in Finn's locker? That's so fucked up.
Oh my God, yeah, that's blackmail in order to get a kid to sing in a singing club.
Oh my God. Anyways, that's the Glee update for the
That's
episode.
the Glee podcast. That was a little preview for our Glee podcast coming out in 2021.
It's called Happy.
The only other thing that I have her in that's kind of recognizable is in Armageddon. She was one of the astronaut's wife. Sorry.
The Astronauts. I like
Astronauts.
that. I like that way better.
No, she was Denise. If anyone watches Armageddon and knows people by name.
Oh, Denise.
Oh, fuck yeah, Denise.
It's fucking Denise.
Yeah, she was the wife of Will Patton, one of the astronauts. And I looked up a little picture of the astronauts, and they were doing that little walk, a little slow motion walk. And it's the one person you probably don't recognize. It's not Bruce Willis. It's not Ben Affleck. It's not any of the other guys.
Ben Affleck's in Armageddon?
Yeah, right? When I saw him, I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, wait, didn't you watch that movie at the bar the other day?
He's so young. No, it wasn't Armageddon. It was, fuck, what was that movie? Deep Impact, maybe?
Oh, Deep Impact. Yeah, they're
it
the
was
same
another
movie.
spacey.
They're the same. They're the
disaster
exact same movie.
Oh, we love a disaster movie.
We
All
should
right.
put that in the disaster movie marathon.
Oh, it's in, honey. It's in.
Oh, good.
So getting back to this movie. All right. So from here, we're looking at the members of the gang known as the Foot Clan. They're stealthily stealing some various items from people right under their noses. You see a old lady's perch snatched. You get some wallets getting
Oh my God, that
passed
lady that was
around.
watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
She was watching the TV. She turned to grab her nail file, or she came back. TV's gone.
And they are some organized bitches because
Oh my God,
he
the
grabbed
wallet
a wallet
snatching.
and then it went to another guy and it got passed and passed all discreetly. It
And then
wasn't
this
just
dude
one.
hung out, lounged by a corner, and then put it behind his back, and then the last. Foot
Yeah, he
Clan
was
person
like
grabbed
waiting
it.
for it. All right, now the sixth snatch off has happened. The sixth handoff has happened, and now it's my turn. I'm the 7th guy. I catch it and I run to my Foot Clan place. One of those guys could have easily put it in their pocket, and they would have been done with.
We call it the the wallet walkabout.
Ooh, the wallet walkabout.
The 6-person wallet walkabout. You never heard of the 6-person walkabout? Oh.
So, okay. So we see April. She's walking across a little parking lot at the end of her little long shift day. And she sees a group of these guys. And they're stealing some merchandise from a van.
Right.
They immediately go for her. They pin her to the ground. They're trying to steal her stuff.
But then what's this?
And then the light above, bam, gets smashed. Whoa, in the
and then
dark.
we hear a lot of noises.
Hear
like,
all these punching and kicks and bang, bang, bang. Who is it? We don't know. The light goes back on. And when the police...
the light comes back on. The cops are here.
When the light comes back on, the cops are here. They're all tied up. They don't know what's happening. April doesn't know what's happening, but she sees a lone Psy laying on the ground. A very obvious ninja weapon. This is not a weapon used by everyone in New York City. No. This has to be a ninja.
She snatches that shit so fast.
She snatched it so fast as I would.
And we see somebody peeking up from the sewers. What's that? Who's that? Who's this? What are they? What?
Wearing a red
And he goes, shit.
headband on his eyes with eye holes cut out? What do you call those again?
An
An eye mask? An eye bandana with eyes cut out?
eye bandana with eyes cut out.
Are there words for this that maybe I could be using that is a little bit more...
A mask. It's just a mask.
You could just say it's a mask, I guess.
It's a cloth mask. An eye mask.
A mask, you would think full body mask. Full face mask, you would think
No,
like
I don't.
Jason. You
I
would think
disagree.
like... Well, it's like an Incredible style mask, guys.
What do you
it's
put-
like Incredibles.
wait,
You
if
put
you-
it
if
on
you're
in
sick-
your eyes and now
hey.
you can't see them.
If you're sick and you don't want to get other people sick, what do you put on your face?
You put a face mask on.
Oh, okay. But does that cover your full face?
No, it does not.
Oh, that's what. Oh, wow. Oh, God. Oh, shit. It's crazy. I feel like you just said something contrary to that, but wow, it's crazy.
I think
wow.
we're breaking ground in some sort of way. I think one of us might be onto something. We'll let the viewers decide. All right, so deep in the sewers, you see this silhouette running inside the sewers, and he meets back with his homies, and they're all gigantic mutant turtles. And by the looks of it,
I did not guess that that's what I was gonna see.
by the demeanor of it, they seem like teenagers. They seem like teenage mutant ninja turtles.
Oh God.
This is...
Oh my God, the title. Wow, how did I not guess that?
Oh,
Wow.
I get it now.
Get it now.
All right, so we're met with Raphael, first of all, who's wearing a red face mask, I guess you can call it. I don't know if my TV is just got a yellow tint to it, but the whole time I kept confusing Michelangelo and Raphael. It was so orange. It was an orange mask.
It does look, it's a bright red, but I don't think it looks orange. It does look scarlet
red,
to me.
like light red, not really bright, because bright is
No,
like a vibrant.
It was a vibrant red, exactly.
No.
It was like a neon red.
It was somewhere in between red and orange, whereas Michelangelo's was hard orange.
It was the... Do you have a Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, I do not.
It's the color of the Red Dead Redemption 2 case.
Oh, I know that color, though. That's like everywhere. That's like a really red. That's like the Netflix logo red. Like red.
Yeah.
Not what Raphael had.
No, I agree. It looks like the Netflix logo red.
Yeah. Looking at Netflix right now. All right, so Raphael is played by my man Josh Pace.
Josh
Pace?
Pace.
Who knows?
P-E-I-S?
P-A-I-S.
Pace.
He's
I'm
the
gonna say
only
Pace.
turtle to do the voice and do the puppeteering for. So he's the full body guy. He's the man.
He was my least favorite voice actor.
He was
in
my
the
least
movie.
favorite turtle growing up and on the rewatch. He's just, he's the gruff guy. He's the one tough guy.
He's your least favorite on the rewatch too?
Yeah, he was a little dickling the whole time.
He was a little dickling. I'll agree with that one. Dickling
He was like the
is,
main
yes.
character. He started off the show. He kind of ended it too. But yeah, no, I was always the Mikey kid growing up, and now looking at it, I'm definitely a Donatello kind of kid.
Does the second one, we're not talking about the second one right now, but does the second one focus on one of them? Because the third one focuses on Michelangelo or
Does it?
Leonardo.
I was
One
about
of
to
those
say
two.
Leonardo because I think in one of them they really try to like hone in that Leonardo's the leader.
Yeah, the third one focuses on Leonardo.
You definitely weren't feeling him as the leader in this one.
I mean, they talk about it. They have like an argument about it for a second, but
For a little bit, but it wasn't like he was leading the team, you know? He
I
wasn't
feel like some of this movie has sort of like it explains everything about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. Like succinctly, like it's everything compiled into the movie.
Right.
But I feel like some of it does kind of weigh on the fact that you know these characters already.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like when you see the Psy, it's kind of like a little, ooh, you know who that is.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's the same thing. Like we all know Leonardo's the leader, but it's only like kind of a pass away statement in the movie at some points.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree.
It's a very leader moment of him to.
All right,
we'll talk about it later.
So we can move on from Josh Pius. If you want to know anything else he's been in Joker 2019, he's the manager who's yelling at this guy. Why'd you bring a gun to the hospital? Why'd you do all this? You're fired.
Oh my god!
Yeah, right. That was a good one.
Me and Babe just saw that movie and I hated it.
All right, Josh Pius, get the hell out of here. He was also Kristen Stewart's stepdad in Adventureland. I love me some Adventureland.
Oh, Adventureland!
Yep. And he was the only voice actor to play the voice and the puppet. All right, thank you, Josh Pius.
That was it, though? He was only in those 2 movies?
There were some other like randos that I didn't recognize. These are like the 2 most recognizable stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really fun. I love Adventureland. All right, so we got the rest
I really
of the team.
remember the stepdad too well.
We got Michelangelo. Michelangelo. He was always
Michelangelo.
He was always my favorite growing up because obviously I had a short attention span. I was a kid's kid. The Cowabunga used to fucking that used to be my jam. The pizza, all of it. Oh my god, I loved it.
I used to identify with Michelangelo because he was funny and he liked pizza so much, and I like pizza so much, and I'm funny.
And I'm funny. And I like to be
funny.
funny. I like to have fun. I wasn't exactly a skater, but like
I was a skater.
I'd like to think I was. I was like that.
I was a skater boy. I said see you later, boy.
Okay.
You weren't good enough for me.
You said see you later, boy? Damn,
I
Avril.
was a skater boy.
That's Avril Lavigne, right?
Yeah, that's Avril.
All right, thank you, Avril, for that beautiful quote that we can quote now. All right, so the voice actor for Michelangelo was Robbie Rist. He also plays the pizza man that delivers the pizza.
Oh, that's funny. He talks to himself in that
Sure
scene.
does, and he gets stiff. He stiffs himself.
Michelangelo plays the pizza guy that dropped off the pizza to Michelangelo at the beginning of the movie. She said, "Oh, really?
No, really?
That's so funny.
It is funny. Thank you, Adele. Thank you.
It is funny. Thank you, Adele. Thank
Love
you.
the commentary.
Love it.
So everybody knows Naruto. Everybody loves Naruto. Robbie Rist has been the voice of Choji since the beginning.
He's the voice of Choji.
I love
From
him.
Naruto.
Always eating stuff.
Yeah.
Getting fat.
That's the fat guy, right?
Getting fat,
I
eats
love
the
him.
pill, turns
I play him in Shippuden.
Oh, he's the best.
I mean, in Ninja Storm.
He's the best. When you got to that point in the games
so much
where they
fun.
can include the little butterfly thing where he gets skinny and gets the butterfly chakra wings, fuck yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
yes!
my
The
shit.
skinny butterfly chakra.
We love a fat guy turned skinny because of a pill.
I like the rolling that he does on the ground.
Oh yeah, he does the little, turns into a giant fat man ball.
Yeah.
How is that okay? All right, so he's also in Zatch Bell. He's also Ido in Zatch Bell. If you remember
who's Ido?
The Wind Power Mamoto, and the owner.
Wait, which one's the wind map? Which one's the wind power Mamoto?
So
I only know the game, so go off of that.
He's not in the game. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay, so never mind. I don't know anything about
The
Zatch Bell.
Mamoto is a little demon guy. He's a little shorter one. He's got like orange spiky hair. And the owner is Robbie Rist. His name is Ido, and he like has a skateboard. And whenever he uses the wind powers, he's always like flying on a skateboard. So it's kind of appropriate, right?
Oh, that's kind of Michelangelo. So he just plays Michelangelo again in Zatch Bell.
Pretty
anyway.
much. I think he's kind of like the funny guy in that one too. And I remember the wind power
fun.
Mamoto was very serious. So it was like a little duo.
Did you watch Zatch Bell?
Did I watch that spell? Girl,
Yeah.
I watched it all the way through. I had to like look on like random sites to find the later episodes. But they used to play it on Cartoon Network. So I had like a few seasons of English to go through until it went to, subtitles. All right. So Michelangelo's puppeteer was Macallan Sisti.
Who dat?
He was also, God, I can't believe this was a movie I used to watch. I had this on VHS. Theodore Rex, starring Whoopi Goldberg. He's the puppeteer for Rex. Yes,
gross.
I'm so glad you choked on it because I was floored when I saw that movie. Like so many feelings came flooding back to me.
That's so gross.
Theodore goddamn Rex. I can't tell you what that movie's about.
Theodore
I
Rex.
just know it's
Isn't it about a businessman dinosaur?
I thought he was a cop.
Oh, maybe
I
he's
think
a
it's
cop.
him and Whoopi Goldberg and they're cops or something like that.
I
remember them
I
like.
just remember him having a job and that being the thing. Like, oh, this dinosaur's got a job, and I'm like, what?
I remember there being a lot of action scenes, like someone suiting up the place, and Theodore's like, "Whoopi, get down!"
I remember him having a tie and a
don't think
shirt
any of that
and a
happens.
jacket on.
I don't think any of that happens. I don't know.
Whoopi, get down.
But
We gotta throw that on the
he
list.
returns for TMNT too, and that's all of his credits. Thank you, Mikey.
Do any of these other voice actors and people come back for the other 2 movies?
It's a great question. I don't think Josh Pius does because he would have had that on there. Robbie Riss definitely does not. Michael Sisti does. And then we've got Splinter, Master Splinter.
Master Splinter.
He was so gross. The first time he came onto camera, he had that little chin hair. That little chin hair hanging down like 2 feet below his chin.
Yeah, so in the story, it's like he's talking, and we see this like hard pan from the far right of the subway to the middle of the subway, of the sewer that they're in. Like there's a subway car there, but like you start on the subway car and then it goes off and you see the turtles. You see 1 turtle, 2 turtle, 3 turtle, 4 turtle, and by the time he's like on the 3rd or 4th sentence of his speech, you see this ugly ass fucking rat with these fucking pickle ET fingers, man.
So crusty too.
Yo,
He's literally a rat, man. That's crazy. They couldn't have cleaned him up a little bit.
he's missing an ear. It's dark as shit, and I'm still scared of his
He's
face.
been living in a sewer for God knows how many years. I don't know how old these guys are.
He's double furred up on a Tuesday afternoon.
If these mutant turtles are teenagers, then he's got to be down there for 13 to 18 years, 13 to 19 years.
Oh my God.
Or however old these.
Wow,
teenagers
he
are.
raised teenage turtles. Can you
He
believe
did that. He sure did.
How do turtles actually age, I wonder?
I mean, they grow twice in
live
size
for
by
a
the
long
next day,
time.
and then they're up on their bipedal feet by the next one, and by the 4th day, they're learning kung fu.
Just took them 3 days to stand up on their back
That's
feet.
exactly how turtles grow. Yep. So Splinter, my man Splinter, is played by Kevin Clash. My man
that?
Kevin Clash has been the original voice of Elmo from 1980 until
He's
2012.
Elmo?
He is the Elmo, like since the beginning.
So the Elmo played the voice
He
for
was
Splinter?
the only Elmo up until 2012, who is now another guy named Ryan Dillon, and he's Master Splinter over here.
What the fuck? Wait, isn't Elmo a black guy?
Yeah, Kevin Clash is a black guy.
Oh, okay. Kevin Clash is a black guy. I was
He
right.
is a
Cool.
black guy.
That's crazy. Master Splinter is a black guy, but he's got a Japanese accent.
Yeah, and Elmo is Elmo.
Tickle me.
I was waiting for. I wasn't gonna do it, but I wanted you to do it. Thank you.
Elmo.
Okay, you can stop doing that now. Thank you.
Yoshi.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, sorry.
The voice actor for Donatello is a very famous man by the name of Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. Wait. What's he in? He sounds familiar.
Uh-huh. When I heard that name, I was like, wait a minute. That sounds so fucking familiar.
Corey Feldman.
He's
Why does that sound so familiar?
he's from The Goonies.
The Goonies.
He's from The Gremlins.
The Gremlins.
And most recently, he's in Sharknado 3.
Sharknado 3.
I don't know what this guy looks like, but I know his name.
His name sounds so familiar. He seems Corey
And
what?
not to bring up, the worst of someone's history, but he also had a little spat with Michael Jackson about the
Corey Feldman.
about the whole, sexual harassment type.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was in that? That's probably why I know him then.
But he was also one of the people who was like, it didn't happen. No.
Right. He was in The Lost Boys. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, License to Drive.
The Burbs, License to Drive.
Dream a Little Dream.
Oh, The Fox and the Hound. So he was a kid actor?
Yes. Very famous
And
kid
then
actor who was very famously friends with Michael Jackson.
And then in the 90s, he became a voice actor for Donatello?
Donatello. Which is
Hey, who's the puppet
now
actor?
looking back on it, Donatello's my favorite guy. I used to be the Michelangelo type. If you're splitting them all into 4, I used to be the Michelangelo, the funny, the silly, the whatever. And now I always kind of
Right.
lean towards like the intellect, the techie guy. And Donatello, especially in this movie, I remember saying like, "Oh, he just made a little joke."
Yeah,
That's Mikey's line right there.
He's like, yeah, him and Mikey are the funniest people.
Yeah,
in
he's
this
actually
movie.
he's somewhere in between like Mikey and Leonardo because he's serious, but he is kind of silly.
I'd love to say that I'm one of them, but I'm Raphael.
I don't think so.
He's just a ball of passion.
No,
He's a ball of passion.
You're like half Raphael, half Michelangelo.
Okay, I'll
And
take
I would
it.
say I'm half Michelangelo, half Donatello.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, he's taking it. Good. Very nice. All right, so Donatello's puppeteer is known as Leif Tilden. He does not act. He does not do much of the face work. So he actually works as a location manager, and he's managed for Eagle Eye. He's managed for the Terminator TV series, Law and Order, lots of other fucking credits. He's a location guy, location manager.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck that is, but
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. I guess he secures the location, throws it in the bag.
great for him.
All right, we're left with one turtle. Leonardo!
Okay, I was like, who did we not do?
Leonardo Kun.
Who is Leonardo Kuhn?
Leonardo Kuhn's voice actor is Brian Tochi.
Brian Tochi.
Tochi. I've never seen Revenge of the Nerds, but he's one of the main characters. 1, 2, and 3 apparently. And then I got 2 little fun facts for you that I know you're gonna like.
What's up?
In Avatar: The Last Airbender, do you remember the husband who wants to get his wife safely across the Serpent's Pass?
Oh my God, the Serpent's Pass.
Say?
Yes, Bossing Say.
Yeah,
yes.
he's the husband.
And they were denied passage by that mean lady. And then Toph is like, actually, I'm a Bayfong. Can you let me in?
Actually, I'm a Kardashian. Can you let me in?
Don't be fucking rude. Let me and my friends in. Don't throw the fucking thing at me.
Toph Kardashian. And he was in another episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you remember when Aang and Zuko, damn, I almost forgot his name. Aang and Zuko go to the Sun Temple for the ancient,
they do the dragon dance.
The dragon dance. In that scene, the Sun Warriors, the older flashback people who are in the audience, there's only 3 of them that talks. There's one like leader guy, there's one who's like wishing them farewell, and there's one who says, "Ooh, I can't wait for the dragons to kill these 2 like they do everybody else."
That's
He's
him?
that guy, yep.
That's funny.
He's the negative guy.
I remember laughing at that.
Brian Tochi.
So, all of them are sitting in a room and Splinter's talking shit.
And Splinter's talking shit. Yeah, let me get to the last turtle so we can finally be done with this.
We already did all 4.
We've got Leonardo's puppeteer. Because remember,
Oh, I forgot.
we don't hire puppeteers for voice acting. We outsource that shit.
Right. Okay, so who puppeteered this guy?
He was puppeteered by David Foreman.
Who's that?
David Foreman as the Leonardo's puppeteer. He doesn't do a lot of acting nowadays.
Who that?
He's a stunt coordinator, has been since 1985. He's worked on Superman 4, Quest for Peace, Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London, a classic, Kick-Ass, stunt coordinator for The Last Jedi.
Oh, Kick-Ass! The Last Jedi!
And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
I don't care about that one, but the other 2, those are some great stunts. Last Jedi and
not just a stunt man.
And the other one, the coordinator.
Jurassic World, yep. He's the coordinator.
No,
he's the lead.
Other one. I don't care about Jurassic World. The other 2.
I'm sorry. Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London.
No, that's not the one I was talking about. What's the one before The Last Jedi?
That was probably the best one on the list.
No, what did you say before Last Jedi, Justin?
Kick-Ass.
Oh, Kick-Ass, yes. When Big Daddy goes into that warehouse and he's throwing all that shit, dude,
Agent
that's
Cody
great.
Banks too, yes. All right, so Foreman also represented the England tumbling squad at the 1980 World Games. A little fun fact for him.
Wow, could not care less.
But it's in theme. He's got a tumbling stunt coordinator career.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
He's a real physical guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the story. Enough about these goddamn actors and their goddamn
So
credits.
now they're all sitting in a room.
So we got Splinter over here. We've got old crusty rat Splinter. He's asking if any of them were seen.
Oh, because they all went to save April. I thought it was just Raphael because that's all you see in the sewer, but I guess they all run back inside together.
Oh, I guess that is, yeah. They never really said that.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
All right, good teamwork.
Good teamwork, yeah.
All right, so after that.
He goes, were any of you seen? And then Raphael goes,
I dropped the sign! I dropped my sign! I can get it back!
Like that.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Thanks. I tried really hard.
And then Michelangelo orders some pizza. Pizza.
And then he plays himself giving him the pizza.
And then he stiffs the guy.
Because he was 2 minutes late. There's
cannot-
a Chinese proverb we always say. Patience is a virtue, but never pay full price for late pizza.
I cannot imagine living in a world where if it's 30 minutes late, you can just not pay the guy. You can give him $10 on a $13 pizza. That's insane.
I want to live back in that world because we did live in that world at one point. And no one ever comes to my house within 30 minutes. So I'd be like, yeah, give me my free pizza. Thank you.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, at that point, you could just turn around, right? Just turn around, go back to Pizza Hut. What are you going to do? You're going to order another one. Then you get another 30 minutes.
Exactly. So then Raphael goes back outside, right? After this whole pizza shit goes on.
After that happens, Raphael goes back outside.
That old lady gets her purse snatched.
Yes.
Boom, boom.
So we see that old lady's purse gets snatched right up. She was clutching it very tightly. It was
That's
like
my thing.
in
She
front of
had
her.
it in front of her. Yeah, she was already ready for it to not get snatched. And
Both
then they were like,
hands.
nah, fuck it. I'm going to snatch that shit anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that she let go of it, but come on. There wasn't a moment where they were both kind of like holding on to it and she was like, oh, overpowered. Let's go.
No, well, I mean, she's an old frail lady. I wouldn't expect her to do much, but I also wouldn't expect her to just let go of her purse like she did.
Yeah. Honestly, you know this silent crime wave is happening right now. You watch the news.
Mm-hmm. But Raphael literally just trips them like with his foot.
Trips them up. They fall into the bushes. They're all
He
up
gets
in
the
grass.
purse back. He throws it at that dude.
throws it at that dude, and then in comes
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
He looks really familiar. He looks like a daddy. I don't know who he is.
I like his face mask. I remember like when it first came on, I was like, that's very
I like
cool.
his face.
I thought, oh yeah, his face is really nice. I was thinking he looked like the main guy from Law and Order SVU, that one
And
guy.
I disagree.
And you disagreed, and then I looked him up, and I was like, well, maybe not, but still kind of similar.
He looks more like the main guy from Criminal Minds from the first seasons.
Well, he is not in Criminal Minds.
Okay, well, thank you.
So Casey Jones is played by Elias Cotillas.
Cotillas.
Elias Cotillas. He's one of the main characters in Crash, 1996. Never seen that. He is Alvin in Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and Chicago Fire.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of things going on in Chicago right now.
Is that those, well, okay.
It's like a crime TV show. It's like a Law and Order and like an NCIS. But
It's like
so
it's like a
specific.
Grey's Anatomy meets that firefighter show that that woman also made.
Well,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's like
these are
the
all
bad
separate
version of it.
These are all separate shows, so I'm assuming Chicago PD is like the Law and Order NCIS version. The Chicago Med is like the Grey's Anatomy version, and Chicago Fire is like that one firefighter show. I forget what it's
Well,
called.
you know that the woman that made Grey's Anatomy, Adele, the woman who made Grey's Anatomy, Shonda Rhimes, the woman who made Grey's Anatomy, Shonda Rhimes, she made another TV show about firefighters that exists inside the Grey's Anatomy universe. And one of the doctors from Grey's Anatomy works at the firefighter place.
Oh, that's cool.
As a firefighter. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They're doing the same thing as the Shonda Rhimes show, but not as
taking
good.
that formula, not as good at all. It's very plain cut. Chicago PD, Chicago Med,
Yeah.
Chicago
You
Fire.
can't top Shonda Rhimes. I mean, she's a fantastic show creator, so.
So Elias Cotillas is also the Reverend in Haunting in Connecticut.
Never seen it.
He's Jack Payne in Shooter, 2007.
Never seen it.
And he returns for TMNT 3.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I guess not number 2. Fuck Casey Jones then.
Fuck Casey Jones.
When I first started watching this movie and they kept referring to him as Casey, I thought he had like a superhero name for some reason. I thought he was like the something or the...
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think he did too. Like he came out and said something about like his name, right? I feel like that was a scene. But I didn't see it in this one. Maybe it happens later. Maybe he becomes something later. I don't know.
Jones. He can't just be known as Casey Jones. I feel like he's
No, I
got
think
like
he does have a.
I guess it's just Casey Jones. Never mind.
Wait, it's just Casey Jones. He doesn't have like the
something, right?
the something. Yeah.
The hockey
Super
puck,
name.
the something.
Yeah, the hockeyer. Nope. I guess his name's actually his superhero name. I guess is Casey because his real name is Arnold Bernard Jones.
Oh, that's weird.
So Casey
He's
is
voiced by Josh Peck in what?
in what? In the new movies?
In the animated TV series 2012. That's funny.
That is funny. So anyways, he comes down and he starts beating up the assholes that were stopped by Raphael.
Yeah, with the hockey puck, with the hockey
And
stick.
Raphael's whole thing is very true ninja shit. He's like, we're not here to hurt them. We're just here to stop them from doing the bad things, and someone else will their path will be corrected on their own. Casey's like, nah, these thugs just did some shit. I'm finna beat them up for it, punish them now for it.
That was a funny little moment because from my perspective, TMNTs are, butt-kicking ninjas. They're always kicking people's butts. And just 2 seconds ago, I mean, they tied him up. They didn't beat the shit out of him. But, they got to be a little violence before you can subdue him. So I remember being very surprised when he was like, hey, stop that. Stop hurting
For the
them.
most part, no. But for the most part, I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, as a principal, trying to be as nonviolent as possible.
Yeah, and I do remember as a kid being like, why doesn't Leonardo ever use his sword?
Use his sword, yeah.
You always
Oh
just see him
God.
hit with the hilt of it or kind of punch and kick. Never actually uses
He
it.
does so many hilt attacks, and it's like, bro.
He'll
come on.
block. Sometimes if someone's coming at him with a knife, he'll like block it and you hear the little clink and then he will not retaliate.
Right.
All right, then we got April. She's over here in the police office. You got the chief of police.
We get to see their little B-side story.
You got Chief Stearns yelling in her face, spitting all over the place. He's
Oh,
still
God.
sweaty as shit.
Well, because she was all like, well, what are you doing about what's going on here? And he's like, we're handling it. And she's all, well, you're not handling it. What do you know about the Foot Clan? And he's like, it doesn't exist. That's stupid. And she's all, well, it does exist. So what do you have to say about that? And he's all, no comment. And then he goes to his office. And she goes, hey, bro. And then she goes, time me. And he goes, okay. And then he goes into the office. And then they're spitting, blah, 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 blah. And then she leaves because he's like, you tell me how to do my job.
It's a very typical journalist versus police person versus authority. Like,
Except that you never see this because like not a lot of those people have actual relationships, but it seems like she's done this enough time that now like the commissioner has had to talk to her several times about this type shit. So they have like a relationship of like, you always badmouth me,
right?
And what the fuck, you got to stop.
And I remember as we were watching it, you were saying, "Oh wait, he's probably paid off by the Foot Clan."
Yes.
That never like ended up getting discussed.
But it did. We'll get to it, but it did come up because he released the Foot Clan child in order for the woman to stop talking.
Which woman is this? I'm so sorry.
April O'Neil. For April to stop talking, he released Danny's kid. But I guess that could also just be viewed as him trying to get April to stop talking about it.
Yeah, that's like more like an insider, like well, I know you, so I'm gonna do this favor for you. It wasn't exactly like I'm in with the Foot Clans, that's why I'm not giving you any information. Because in the end, when he was arresting these guys, he was like, "Hey, I want to know where your hideout is," and blah blah blah.
That's true.
He wasn't like, "Oh, you guys got me."
That's true. I guess my theory didn't hold up too well.
So after that encounter, she's then in the subway. She's trying to go home. And then a bunch of Foot Clan come out of nowhere. Oh my god. How many times is this going to happen? Foot Clan everywhere.
She pulls out the scythe and immediately gets it smacked out of her hand by
That
a
was
fucking
so
ninja.
funny. She pulls it out so fast.
Yeah, she's like, I got a
she's
scythe.
so
and
ready
he's like,
to use
"Bitch,
it.
Get the fuck out of here.
And he slaps it with his bare hand. It's not like he does no karate, nothing. Doesn't attack
Well,
with
again,
another
these
side.
weapons are rounded. They're fucking blunt objects.
They're very blunt. I wonder if the point is sharp at least, because you can't cut anything with it. Maybe you can at least stab.
No, it's rounded like a drumstick.
After that, the Foot Clan says, "Hey, I have a message for you." Holds out his hand,
Smacks her in the face.
slaps her right in her mouth.
That was the funniest moment I've ever witnessed. He goes, I have a message for you. Puts out his hand and just smacks her so hard. And she's so
screamed.
taken aback. Yeah.
I don't think you can do that in a
man.
movie nowadays. If
No,
you
of
do
course
that,
not.
that's one of those scenes to really solidify to the audience that this villain is a bad guy.
Exactly.
He hits
If you slap a bitch in a
women.
movie now, oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do that, it's only to show how bad you are
How bad,
and to set up your
exactly.
failure later, or just to, otherwise destroy someone's character.
That's so crazy.
It's not delegated to the lackey Foot Clan unnamed person.
Right. Exactly. You never see just the ninja dude slapping a chick.
So funny. After that beautiful slap to the face, after a short little skerfuffle, she's knocked unconscious, and then we see Raphael coming in to help her.
He grabs his side back and he goes at him.
He goes at him. At them.
At him.
Defeats the Foot Clan, yada yada.
A ninja, isn't it?
We bring April back to the subway. We bring her back to meet the fam.
She's unconscious.
It's at this point where we really get the close-up of Splinter that we never
Because
asked
she
for.
wakes up and she's nose down in him.
She wakes up and looking straight up from the couch, you just see this long, hanging chin hair. That's like the first thing I saw, just right there in her face, just dangling, little crusties hanging off of it. And he's like, "Oh, you are awake." She screams her head off. She looks around.
Then she sees the turtles.
There's 4 giant turtles. She screams even more. She thinks she's in a dream.
You immediately were like, I bet that place smells so bad.
Oh my god! Especially with Splinter just hanging over her, like, hello. All
Yeah,
that
I bet
rat
Splinter
breath.
smells like shit, dude.
Oh my god! How
gotta
many
smell
years
bad.
was he in the sewer? How many
13,
showers have they
something like
taken in
that?
their
Yeah.
years living in the sewer? Probably
Yeah,
0.
that's crazy. Probably 0.
It's at this point that Splinter explains the origins of the turtles. So Splinter is explaining to April after she calms the fuck down, and by extension explaining to the audience that he and the turtles were once ordinary animals, but were mutated into intelligent creatures by the toxic waste. The toxic
waste.
So after Splinter finds the turtles and sees that they are growing twice in size and their intellect is growing at the same speed as his, he trains them in the art of ninjutsu.
Which he learned from his old master, Yoshi!
Yoshi!
Yoshi! Yoshi! Yoshi!
You're really good at that.
Me and Adele watched a Yoshi video because I was trying to convince her that I was doing it well, and she was like, no, you're not. And I was like, let's listen to it. And then I did
No, you're doing
it with
it really
in my
good.
ear, and I was like, no, that's it, babe. And she was like, it is it. But at first she was like, you sound like Stitch.
Yeah. Well, they're very similar.
Yeah. Ohana means family.
That thing
Family
you
means
do.
nobody gets left behind.
You're like putting your voice in your throat. I don't know how to do
in
that.
my throat. You close off the you close. You got it. There you go. Yeah, you close it off. Yoshi, Yoshi.
Oh, wow. I feel like I was gonna choke on my own words.
Yeah, it hurts because you're letting so little air escape from the back of your throat.
Wow, Yoshi is a
I'm getting
true hero.
lightheaded. Yoshi! Oh, God.
So after this huge
Yoshi.
explanation, the turtles take April back to her apartment.
And they have some pizza!
And they get some pizza!
And then we see Michelangelo do a fantastic comedy routine where he does impressions.
Oh, yeah. He was doing Sylvester Stallone. I think he was only doing Sylvester Stallone.
No, he did.
I don't remember anyone else.
He did You Dirty Rat. I don't know who that is. He did Sylvester Stallone, and he did one other person I don't remember. You Dirty Rat.
You
Oh,
did that?
that's why she said that must be Splinter's favorite.
Oh,
Because he's a dirty rat.
Very dirty. So at
That's
least she
funny.
knows. At
I
least
didn't
it's
get it at
canon.
first. I
He
thought it
is
was just because
dirty.
I thought it was just because he wouldn't have been up for the game of doing improv scenes. You know what I mean? Or like impressions.
Yeah. After the turtles escort April home, they go back to their hideout and find that it was ransacked and Splinter is kidnapped.
And then they're all crying.
Oh, that was so sad.
It was. They go back to her apartment like in tears. It's like, oh my God,
Go
heartbreaking.
back to April's apartment. We're all sad. We spend the night there.
He goes, Splinter. Sad face.
So the next morning, Danny Pennington, the troubled son of April's supervisor, Charles Pennington,
Who
is
we saw get arrested earlier, which we didn't mention.
who we saw get arrested and then get bailed out of jail because Charles Pennington is got some influence in the police department.
No, Chief wants April to stop, so he calls Charles and says, "Hey, don't you got a kid named Danny? Well, guess what? He's in the thing, and I'll let him out for free 99 if you tell April to shut the fuck up."
There's a whole lot of insider trading going on. There's a whole lot of shady shit.
He says deal. Then he goes back to her house and says, "Listen, I need you to shut the fuck up about the police commissioner." And all the turtles are hiding.
Oh God, that was so bad. And this guy, little Danny, is like picking
Danny
up little notes. He's like, "Wait,
he saw
empty pizza box.
He saw Michelangelo under the table.
All right, so Danny sees one of them briefly in a reflection before he and his father are ushered out. April's like, "Get the fuck out of here." While driving home, Charles confronts Danny about stealing, and when he stops in traffic, Danny runs out of the car like the little shit he is.
Yeah, what a fucking dick. I hated that.
The
My
second
dad
they
would've
stop, he
snatched
just-
me up, bro.
My parents would be like flabbergasted if I just
Jumped
ran
out of the car?
Oh my God. And this guy was like,
he goes straight to
"Danny,
the
come
sewer.
back.
He
Danny,
goes straight
where
to
you
the sewer.
going?"
These white kids, man.
He goes to an abandoned warehouse near the harbor where the Foot is waiting. You've got this little teenage operation going on.
The coolest place in
The coolest
New York.
place ever. We've got neon signs. We've got arcade games.
We've got stolen
skateboarders.
electronics. We got pool tables. We got kids smoking cigarettes, menthol irregular.
Menthol irregular.
we got
all got cigarettes.
we got what's his name?
We got Sam Rockwell.
We got Sam Rockwell sitting and just hanging out.
I'm so glad you caught that. He's only
I said,
credited
"Is that
as head
Sam
thug in this movie.
Head thug doesn't even have a fucking name, bro.
Nope. So after that, we see Tatsu, the second enhancer shredder, and he's teaching these kids the way of the ninjutsu. He's kicking kids' ass. And then during a fight with, was that Danny or Rando or another guy?
A random guy.
A guy that looked just like Danny. He had the same little bowl cut.
Yeah.
He tries to give him a bow after fighting, and this guy kicks him in his
Kicks him.
face.
Right in his mouth.
Never
He's a
lower your
child.
eyes to the enemy.
He's a child. That's a child, Tatsu.
I screamed. I was like, that is so disrespectful, especially in like
Yeah.
Japanese culture. The whole bow is meant to show your vulnerable side. Like, look,
Well,
I trust you, and that's why I'm bowing to you. I'm giving you my head right now, basically.
This is the way of the shadow jutsu, bro. I mean, the shadow ninja.
Don't trust
Shit.
anybody and never lower your eyes to the enemy. This is where we meet our main antagonist, Shredder, who on second watch is very similar to Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah. Parallels running deep. Actually, a lot of parallels to Star Wars in this movie. Like, we named every single person that could be every single person.
Yeah, we've got the Turtles as Luke, cohesively all together.
Yeah. We have Leia as April. Han with Casey Jones.
Shredder as Darth Vader, of course.
Yeah. And Yoda as Splinter.
Oh my God, what a beautiful Yoda. Shredder, my main man Shredder, is played by James Saito. I've only seen Home Alone 1, but in Home Alone 3, he is the Chinese mob boss.
Wait a minute. Hold on. He's voiced by a different person?
Question mark? Oh yeah, he is. Isn't that upsetting?
Why? Why?
He's literally there. You see his face moving, his mouth moving and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they felt it so necessary to voice over everybody else's lines. But he plays the Chinese mob boss in Home Alone 3. I've only seen number 1, so I don't know how the fuck this franchise can get all the way to a Chinese mob boss being involved in this franchise.
I think the third one is the one with the there's like a chip at the bottom of a race car, RC race car.
And the Chinese
different
mob
kid.
wants it back.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, jeez Louise. He also plays the insurance investigator in Life of Pi, the guy who's like interviewing him the entire movie.
Never seen it.
If y'all have seen Always Be My Maybe on Netflix, he's the main.
Always be my maybe.
He's the main guy's dad, the guy who's trying to get Harry to get out the house.
Never
He's
seen it.
Judge in Big Eyes. He's got small parts in Pearl Harbor, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Long Shot.
Never seen it.
And then the voice of Shredder is voiced by David McCharron, who's only
McCarran?
McCarran. McCarran? It's got an H in there.
McCharran? Okay.
McCharron, there we go. David McCharron
McCharran.
returns with TMNT 2. That's his only credit.
Oh, great. Thank you, Splinter, for coming back. So, yeah, Danny tells him about the turtles at April's house, right?
Yerp.
And then back at April's house, turtles are watching April on the TV, talking about how they want to fuck her. It's super weird.
It was really weird. Mike keeps kissing the TV. It's very uncomfortable.
What a hottie, he says, or something like that.
And then Raphael and Leonardo get into a whole argument over what to do over Splinter being gone. Raphael leaves the apartment. He goes onto the roof where he's then ambushed by an army of Foot Clan ninjas.
Who sees him across the way? Casey.
They're all joking around downstairs like, oh yeah, Raphael always leaves. He always does his whole thing. He's fine.
Oh yeah, she takes them to see her dad's shop. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all they keep saying, "Oh, Raphael's fine, whatever. He'll be fine."
Well, meanwhile, Raphael's getting the shit knocked out of him.
Literally. And then they're like, "Oh, he'll drop in at any second." And literally
Boom. Get thrown back into the apartment. And then all the turtles get into the giant fight. They all wind up in the antique shop below because the floor drops in. More Foot Clans are dropping in through the roofs.
Oh my god, they're like never ending.
It's like a never-ending supply.
Never ending supply.
Never-ending Foot Clan.
Oh my god.
So they all end up in the antique shop, where they're all soon outnumbered as Tatsu arrives with reinforcements. However, Casey Jones suddenly appears. Having spotted Raphael from the rooftops earlier, he helps the turtles escape through a secret doorway as the building catches fire. They escape in April's van, and the ninjas retreat as the shop and apartment burn to the ground. And somewhere in this, what is it called? The phone recorder, the voice message,
Oh my
voice
God.
mailbox.
Yeah, shows that she got fired.
Shows that she got fired. It falls from her house, from her apartment, into the hole below, and then dangles
Dangling
on the
from a
end of
wire.
a wire. And he says, "Hey, you're fired. All right, April, you're done. You're through."
I know this is gonna seem as a backhand, but yeah, I can't do this anymore.
You're done. You're fired. I'm sorry.
You're fired. Take your shit. Get out.
So then we've got the famous scene where all the Avengers go onto the farm on Hawkeye. Oh, I'm sorry. So then
The
we've got
Avengers.
So
go
then
to
we've
the
got the
farm.
scene where the
No!
TMNT goes to the farm that belongs to April's family.
No, you did not
So
just say that.
It's the midway in every movie where we all reevaluate our lives, where we
Oh
all get
my
away from the
gosh.
setting in order to just be one with the characters. A lot of development happens over here. We've got some
Captain America chopping wood.
Yep.
Leonardo chopping wood.
Yep.
Raphael
We got
face down in a bathtub.
Hawkeye and his wife flirting. Casey and April flirting.
April flirting.
A very
Oh my
weird
God.
flirting.
He sits her ass down.
He grabs her shoulders and throws her into the chair, and then just starts aggressively massaging her. It's very awkward.
I do want to talk about one bit in this whole like farmhouse bit that they do.
Mm-hmm.
We open with April writing in her journal and drawing pictures of the turtles, and she sounds nothing like she sounds in the rest of the movie. I don't know who wrote this dialogue, but it is like she's speaking like eloquently, and she's a reporter from New York, and it just doesn't sound like her at all.
So true, especially that she's a reporter. She really should be like. It makes sense that she's journaling because that's like a very investigative journalist. It's in the
Right.
name. But she's not talking like a reporter. She's talking very like a high school girl. Like,
And then we all went over here, and they are just such a family. We all feel very connected to each other.
It's weird. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it one bit. That whole scene was very awkward and cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right
and
after
then,
a
and
weird,
then
cringy massage,
Yeah.
Michelangelo comes in with some weird, cringy jokes.
about turtle wax, I didn't like that either.
Oh, turtle wax. That's what it was. I was trying to remember. Yeah. It wasn't even a joke. It was just like a visual
like,
gag, I guess.
Do you need ointment? Because they had been working out, and he goes, no. And then he grabs turtle wax, and he goes, hey,
And
like
then
he laughs just like that.
Yeah. That's the joke, that it's turtle wax. And then...
Leonardo is meditating in front of Raphael's bathroom where he's face down in the tub.
Oh, yeah. Face
he
down
hears-
Raphael. They didn't even try to prop him up well. They threw him
Right.
face down into the water. I'm assuming that they breathe water. Maybe that was helpful
Yeah, they're
for him to
amphibians.
recover.
I mean, I've seen turtles like float at the top of the water before, so maybe that's what they were trying to do.
And then Leonardo's over here meditating.
Using the force,
Using
trying
the
to
Force
talk
to
to
meditate.
Yoda. I mean, Splinter.
And then they connect. And Splinter
Leonardo.
says his name. Oh, that was such a beautiful moment.
Leonardo.
It's kind of like, well, no, Rise of Skywalker spoilers. It's a very new movie.
Stop. Yeah. Slow it down.
It's just like any Star Wars Force communication.
Right.
Like when Obi-Wan is telling Luke, use the Force.
Or when Obi-Wan like takes a seat because Alderaan died. I heard a million voices scream out in pain, and they were
Oh.
all silenced at once.
Oh, so sad.
Do I do a good Alec Guinness? I'm just joking.
You do some good voices, yeah.
Yoshi. Okay.
So, yes, while
Said
he's
Ohana
meditating,
Yoshi.
Leonardo manages to make contact with Splinter. He convinces the others to join him in a seance. They all share a vision of Splinter, who tells them how proud he is and that they have mastered their training of the mind, becoming true ninjas before saying his final goodbye.
Yeah, which is very misleading. I thought he died.
Extremely. They're all crying. He says, this is my
Yeah.
final goodbye. Peace out. I didn't
Girl Scout.
assume that they were going to, like, kill him or, like, they were going to show what happened to him, but I assumed it was, like, a Force Ghost type of thing where he, like, just
left his body.
yeah, is
Can't even
done.
talk to them.
He's at peace. He's done.
Right. Yeah.
That's not the case, as we will soon to find out.
Yeah.
So, the turtles decide to return to New York, find and rescue him.
Right. Only after Danny and Splinter have that little conversation.
Oh yeah.
Where Splinter tries to set him straight.
Danny discovers Splinter, who detects Danny's confusion using the Force and angst to speak to him. He offers Danny guidance and advice during their short conversation, telling him once that all fathers care for their sons, despite Danny's anger towards his father.
Damn, yeah. Charles, you're an asshole.
Yeah, he's the worst. Turtles return to their lair and find Danny hiding out in a closet. He tells April that he ran away from his father but will go back to him if he could just spend the night. Everyone agrees to let him stay. April shows and gives him one of the drawings she did of the turtles. And during the middle of the night, Danny abruptly leaves, but not before drawing the attention of Casey, who follows him. They go to the Foot Clan hideout, where Danny, confused, seeks out Splinter, while Casey knocks out a Foot Ninja and steals his outfit.
Yeah, and that was weird too.
So Danny goes to Splinter, who then gives you the whole backstory of Splinter and Shredder. You find out that Splinter was the pet rat of his master Yoshi.
Yoshi!
Here we go. Thank you.
Yoshi!
And competed in ninjutsu. And his main rival was Oroku Saki. Both men competed not only in ninjutsu, but for a love of a woman named Yang Chin. But Chin loved only Yoshi, and instead of seeing him fight for her hand, convinced him to flee with her to America.
Oh, that's why he was a construction worker.
Which is funny, because
And that's why Splinter got to New York.
it's a very stereotypical immigrant job. When I saw him with the hat, I was like, okay, gotcha.
That's true. Cool. Well, it's entry level and it's, hard manual labor.
It's
and a lot of
appropriate,
people want to do it.
but it is semi-stereotypical.
Also, well, I mean, at least he wasn't building railroads, Justin.
Yeah.
He could have been a lot more racist, I guess.
He could have came home in like a Chinese restaurant like uniform,
Exactly,
chef's
yeah.
outfit or something.
He could have taken off his delivery driver polo.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been good though. Maybe they would have ordered some Chinese and we would have got a whole no. Anyways, Saki followed them, quickly dispensed them both in rage. Splinter escaped from his cage and leapt at Saki's face, scarring it.
Fucking his face up.
Fucking it up. Saki swung at Splinter, slicing part of his ear off before disappearing. Danny asks what became of Saki, to which Splinter replies that no one truly knows, but that Danny is wearing his emblem on his headband.
Ooh.
Shredder comes in and he sees that they're talking to each other. He says, Danny,
all
what
pissy.
the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing? Get your ass over here.
Using the force, he senses the drawing in his back pocket and plucks it right out. He looks, and it's a drawing of the turtles, and
Well, it's a drawing of Leonardo.
for some reason, this is pissing him off. He's like,
He
turtles.
said he said they're back.
They're
He said they're back.
Oh, yeah, because he was already describing turtles before. He angrily walks away and gathers his forces, telling Tatsu to kill the rat. Hearing this, Danny rushes back where he runs into Casey and explains that they have to rescue Splinter. They manage to get him out of his chains, but are stopped by Tatsu and a team of ninjas. Meanwhile, the Foot sets out to ambush the turtles in their hideout, but are surprised by a sneak attack. The turtles fiercely fight back and bring the conflict to the streets above.
Oh yeah, that's where they gassed them.
They gassed them! As they fight, Casey engages Tatsu in a one-on-one combat and manages to overpower him. Before leaving, he questions the gang members on their idea of this so-called family that they're a part
He
of.
goes, Sam Rockwell, you step right up to me right here. This your family, huh? That's your family, huh? This right here, this all right here is your family, huh?
We
Huh?
love a Sam Rockwell.
He goes, this is we're a family.
Well, a family.
We're a family, Casey.
If you guys don't know Sam Rockwell, he was also in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Seven
Iron
Psychopaths, Richard
Iron Man
Jewell,
2.
Iron Man 2, The Green Mile.
Bunch of
Before-
shit.
Before going on, I do want to mention two actors who were unnamed and uncredited, but they were members of the Foot. They were not famous at this point, but they did reach fame later. Skeet Ulrich, who plays
Who
the
dat?
father of Jughead Jones in CW's Riverdale,
Okay.
for all my Riverdalian fans out here.
Riverdalian fan.
And Scott Wolf, who plays the lead role of Carson Drew in CW's Nancy Drew.
Oh, great. So a bunch of CW fans. I mean, a bunch of CW.
After dispatching a few remaining ninjas, the turtles are surprised by the sudden appearance of Shredder, who engages the turtles in combat.
They ask him. They fight him one by one.
Yeah, I remember them going exactly one by one, and I was like, no, guys, you have to do it together.
Yeah, and then he tells him Shredder's dead, and then Leonardo's like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, but it sucks that that wasn't the answer. It wasn't that they had to work together,
Right.
because it was actually
Yeah.
just it's supposed to be a Splinter / Shredder
Yeah.
final duel moment. And that's when he reveals that Shredder is Oroku Saki. Shredder takes off the mask. You see how fucked his face is. And he says,
I will finish what I started with your ear.
oh. And Splinter says, yeah, I'll fuck your face out too, bro.
Let's go, bro. Let's go, bro. And
And
then
They
comes
do
at him
this
with his-
move that I started screaming. He comes at him in a stabbing motion. And Splinter
takes Michelangelo's nunchucks.
takes his nunchuck, wraps it around the knife, and
Yeah.
flings this
Flips him.
full-fledged man off the roof.
This is a rat. This is a grown rat.
This is a rat. And he doesn't just deflect the blow. He doesn't use his own momentum to kind of make Shredder trip
Him
over
die.
the rooftop.
No.
No.
He Jedi flips
He
him
lifts
over his
him
head.
into the air over his head and then dangles him off the rooftop.
he's like pulling him tight enough with his own strength and the nunchuck rope that it's holding Splinter in like a climbing up the wall type position.
And he's
It's
just
incredible.
fully holding this full man out here.
Yeah.
And
While
then-
he's trying to give a parabole, he's like
Mm-hmm.
he's
trying
like,
to do the right Jedi thing like Yoda should, like Splinter should.
yes.
Give him one last chance. It doesn't have
He
to be this way.
says-
It's over.
He says something along like when you die, it'll be worse for you because you're gonna die with no honor. But before he can say no honor,
Before he can say no honor, Shredder throws a kunai out of his pocket or wherever the fuck he got it from. Splinter catches it, but in doing so, lets go of the
let's
nunchuck.
go. Yes.
Falls into the
A
garbage
trash compactor.
trash compactor below, and then Casey trash compacts him,
So it's actually Casey that kills Shredder.
kills him, murders him, crushes him to death. I mean, we don't see it, and he obviously comes back for number 2, so, spoilers, but
Right.
the fact
Then
that
we
you
get a
can
cute
drop
little-
somebody into a trash compactor and then compact it is wild.
Right.
And then we get a cute little reuniting scene with Turtles and the Splinter.
And April and this guy kiss.
Oh, it was
I love you. I
beautiful.
know. Shut up.
Yes, exactly. Han and Leia, we love it. Police
Can
arrive.
you just kiss me already? I gotta go report.
They question the remaining members, which is pretty much Sam Rockwell. He's the lead thug, the only one with
Go to
speaking
this-
lines.
Go to this warehouse. You'll see everything you need to see.
And then she gets her job back because Charles is begging her. She gets not only an office, not only a corner office, but she's also
now the
highest
paid
reporter
in New
baby.
York City.
She's a tough negotiator.
Well, he rolled over on every single thing she asked for.
That's what I call aggressive negotiations.
Okay.
So then they're all cheering. They're all
I got a
exchanging
bad feeling about this.
They're all exchanging their slang exclamations.
And then the bop comes on.
And then Splinter comes in and says, "My favorite has always been a Cowabunga." Cowabunga.
And then the movie, I mean, that's Ghostbusters.
Oh, you got me.
It goes, I don't know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Turtle
theme song, you just heard
power.
it. Turtle power. Yeah, no, but then the bop turns on, and it's the greatest rap song of all time about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was really good. We love a
It was a
rap
good
about the
song.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it was great.
All right.
And that was the movie.
That was the
I
whole
l-
movie, guys.
I
That was the
loved it.
movie, start to
I
finish. It
loved
was so good.
it.
It was just as good as I remember, and I know exactly
loved
why I loved
it.
this as a kid.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things
know.
where I'll go back and I'm like, why did I like this as a kid?
This is not one of those things.
No. So
Mm-mm.
before this, I told you that, of course, we had some location shoots in New York City. We had to get the Twin Towers. We
yes.
had to get the Empire State Building, all that good stuff. But then, after those few little location shoots, they actually took those photos and built rooftop sets somewhere else in America. Do you have your final answer for where you think this location was?
Well, you said it wasn't like a important city. So and I want to say California because that's where everything happens, but Atlanta. I mean
Okay.
Georgia. Sorry, you said it wasn't a city. Fuck, never mind, not Georgia.
Yeah, it's not a big city, and I would say there's no big cities in here. You're not gonna be like, oh, it's near this place.
Wyoming, Utah, Texas.
Nope, and nope.
All right, just tell me. I don't. My final answer is Rhode Island.
Well, after the location shoots, most of the production took place in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina Film Studios is where all the rooftop sets were created.
What?
The
I
production
don't like
designer Roy Forge Smith and his art director Gary Wisner went to New York 4 months prior and took photographs of rooftops, abandoned subway Brooklyn lines. What did I just say?
Abandoned subway Brooklyn lines.
Production
Brandon-
designer, blah, blah, blah. all this
Brooklyn
good
abandoned
stuff.
subway lines.
We're keeping that in. Brooklyn lines. We got it.
Okay.
So
Who
there were
directed this
some-
movie?
So this movie was also directed by Steve Barron.
What
Steve
did he
Barron.
do?
My man Steve Barron.
My man Steve Barron. He sounds familiar.
He didn't do a lot of film before this. He didn't do a lot of film after it either. He was mostly known for doing music videos. He started as a camera assistant man, started making a bunch of music videos during the 80s.
Oh, he did Eminem stuff, didn't he?
He first worked for a bunch of people that don't recognize The Jam, Human League, Adam and the Ants, basically like the first people who were shown on MTV, which was brand new at the time.
Right. Did he
In
work
nine-
with Eminem? You have to get me there.
In 1982, he conceived and directed the award-winning Billie Jean music video for the first
he
single
did?
of Michael Jackson's legendary Thriller album.
Wow, you spoke about that in the movie.
In 1985, he also made the iconic Take On Me music video by IHOP,
Whoa! So no wonder they gave him a movie.
and which also explains why this whole movie played like a giant 80s music video.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I liked it though. I enjoyed it.
Oh, it was amazing. The music was on point.
I like movies that play as music videos. That's great. Like Baby Driver is my favorite movie ever, and it's like basically just one long music video.
That was a really good movie. I'm really glad you showed that to me. I wouldn't have watched that on my own.
Well, I'm glad I could bring you into my world.
So he also directed many of music video that would come to define the early days of MTV, Africa by Toto, Burning Up, Like a Virgin, and Material Girl by Madonna.
Anything with Eminem?
Not that I can see, no.
But I thought Eminem has a sketch on one of his albums like called Steve Bannon.
Steve Barron.
Oh.
Steve Bannon is that one alt-right guy who's all up in the news. So before TMNT, Steve had only directed one film in '84 called Electric Dreams. I just wanted to read you the description of it. a music-led science fiction romantic comedy that depicts a love triangle between a man, a woman, and a personal computer.
Wait, what is this? The other movie he directed?
The only movie he had directed up until this point. And I just had to include the description in there because it sounds like my kind of jam.
Oh my god. So a computer program that he falls in love with? That's weird.
So yeah, that's why this plays like an 80s music video, which was very appropriate. The songs were all
Gotcha.
amazing in there. The actual score was done by John Duprez, who also comes back for TMNT 2 and 3, and also scored Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, 1983.
Oh, fun. I like that one.
So most of the elements of this movie was taken from the original comics, like the stories of the Turtles' origins, the rooftop battles, the sojourn to the farmhouse, the battle with Shredder, Splinter being Yoshi's mutated pet rat, whereas
Right.
in certain cartoons, Splinter is a mutated Hamato Yoshi himself.
Right.
And then some elements were taken from the animated series, the 1980s, that weren't included in the
Yoshi.
comics, like the Turtles' colored bandanas.
That wasn't in
Originally,
the comics?
in the comics, they were all black and white, so they were all black bandanas. The only way you can tell them apart was the weapons they were carrying.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Their love of pizza also came from the animated series because, the animated series was for kids. They wanted to zhuzh it up with some pizza.
Oh, so was the comic more serious?
Yeah, the comic apparently was more serious, had some blood in it, was a little bit more like adult themed.
Why turtles then, I wonder? Anyways.
In the animated series, April O'Neil was a television reporter, whereas in the original, she was actually a lab assistant.
Oh, so
Assuming she has
the
something to do with the
ooze.
origins. Yeah, the ooze.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
As well as the surfer lingo that they all use, like bummer, dude, radical, cowabunga. That all came from the animated series, not the comics. So a lot of the origins of how the Turtles came to be is like a huge homage or allusion, whatever you want to call it, to Daredevil. The traffic accident between a blind
Oh,
man and
yeah.
a truck carrying radioactive material was the way that they came to be in the comics.
Wow.
In the very first issue, Splinter actually sees a canister strike a young boy's face. In the name Splinter as well parodies Daredevil's mentor Stick. And the
That's
hand,
funny.
the hand are the clan of evil ninjas, arch nemesis to Daredevil, just like the foot.
Oh my god, and the foot. Wow, this is really just this lives
so
in the
on
Daredevil
point.
universe because it's saying that because the reason Daredevil got his powers is because of that truck, that same truck that gave the Turtles their power. That's crazy.
Yep. I don't know if it's
That's
like
insane.
canon, but I mean, it was in the first issue.
Yeah. So I mean,
don't
it's
know if
canon in the
Marvel has
Teenage
said
Mutant.
anything. In the
No, yeah,
Teenage
it's
Mutant
canon
Ninja
in the
Turtles-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, but it's not canon in Marvel.
Exactly.
Or it could be. I don't know.
One of the last few little fun facts I got for you. Pizza Hut engaged in a $20 million marketing campaign tied to the film, selling merchandise, putting turtles all over their shit, despite
Wait,
the
but
fact that
then
every time that pizza
Domino's?
was delivered was Domino's pizza.
Oh my god! Why?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know if Pizza Hut, struck this deal afterwards, and then, I don't know, seeing
Wow,
this
that's
film,
so
Papa
funny.
John, Pizza Hut guy, Papa John version of Pizza Hut, must have been pissed.
Yeah, I would be mad. The CEO of Pizza Hut. You said the Papa John's of Pizza Hut.
Papa John's of Pizza Hut, whatever that guy's name is.
The CEO of Pizza Hut, Justin.
So it actually won the Yoga Award for the worst foreign film in 1991.
What did? The Teenage
This
Mutant Ninja
movie,
Turtles?
yeah.
Foreign film?
Yeah, because, the Yoga Award is like a Spanish award.
Oh, so it's bad?
So for the Spanish, I don't think they like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles very much.
Wow, that's fucked up. I think it was that bad.
And then the most recent thing I can find about this movie is that in 2015, some of the writers, the director, Steve Barron, the producer, David Chan, they all filed for a $3 million lawsuit against the franchise rights holder, Fortune Star Media, for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they were entitled in their contracts to 2 to 10%, ranging on, each individual contract of the profits of merchandise, franchise profits, all that good stuff, which they never paid them, except for the first film.
Right. And they never got for any of these new ones either, I'm guessing.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that happened in 2015, and after some Googling, you really cannot find any news on it. So I don't know if they settled out of
So
court.
we don't even know if we... Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they won,
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
All right. So we've got the budget of this film. How much do
Okay.
you think that this film cost to make? With all these Jim Henson puppets and all these big-name actors, such
What
as
year was
Halloween
this?
Town Mom. This was 1990.
I'm gonna say $70 million.
Oh, all right. A little high there. It was actually $13.5 million.
What?
Yeah, she was a cheapie. She was a cheap movie. I
Wow.
think the fact that they didn't have to film in New York and just took those few little shots and then moved everything to North Carolina, I think that really saved them a lot of money.
She spent $13 million on that movie? That's nothing. That movie cost nothing to make.
Literally nothing, yeah.
That's
Literally
crazy. I
beans.
mean, $13 million, but that's crazy.
But in like film standards.
Film standards, yeah. Like even what was the Neverending Story again? How much did that cost?
That was 60 million.
Damn. You
That was
say?
60, exactly.
That's crazy.
How much do you think we won back?
Well, we definitely made our money back. I'm gonna say we got. Did we make at least 100 mil?
At least 100 mil, yes.
Okay, so 126 mil.
It's a round number.
130.
It's a nice round number.
130 mil. 170 mil.
So this film opened.
150 mil.
This film opened at number 1 in the box office over the weekend,
190 mil.
grossing more than $25 million in the first weekend. The biggest opening for an independent film at the time. And
Wow.
subsequently was the highest grossing independent film of all time.
It's an independent movie.
This bitch
New Line
turned
Cinema
out
did it.
$200 million.
Wow, $200 million. Good job. Wow, they made so much money. $187 million.
Which makes it the
profit?
ninth highest grossing film of 1990.
Justin, this is the 9th highest grossing film of 1990?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, an
Wow.
independent movie.
An independent movie? So New Line Cinema just did it? They were just like, okay, fine.
Just one long music video of a movie.
Wow, that's crazy. They did it on the cheap, too.
All right, Ryan.
What?
It's time
What?
for a little show I like to call The Third Degree Quiz Show. Quick.
Oh, shit. Show.
All right. In this movie, very small role, Sam Rockwell.
Mm-hmm.
Very small role. He was in a movie called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He stood a part of the main character of this movie.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who plays Arthur Dent in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Of course I do.
What's his name?
Martin Freeman. Martin Short. No. Martin Freeman. Is it Martin Freeman?
Bang, 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 bang.
Your silence. I was like, what?
Good job.
Yeah, that was not a good one for me. I
Really?
knew Martin Freeman off
I
the top of my
don't know-
head, yeah.
I don't know this guy. He's like,
He's in
what else
he's in
is he in?
Sherlock. He's in What do you mean? What else is he in? He's in the Black Panther, Captain America movies.
he is in Black Panther. He looks so different though. He looks so much
Yeah.
older.
That's what you asked me the question of.
And not just older, but like I don't know, his face is so much smaller.
He's in a bunch of shit.
He was
He's in
like
so much shit.
like an average sized dude. In
Oh yeah, he was
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
skinny.
Galaxy.
He was really skinny in Wakanda Forever in Black Panther.
Yeah, and then in Black Panther, he's like a real small guy.
Yeah.
I really did not put
but
that.
he
back-
did
put
he did a
that
great
together.
he did so good in that movie though.
All
Oh, he's in The
right, so
Office. He's the British version of The Office. He's like the main character. He's Jim.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's the Jim of the British Office.
I'm thinking I'm picking like a really unknown actor.
No, you should have done who was the his friend, his best friend. But I know that one too. It's
Oh.
Mos Def because he's a rapper.
Really? I thought
And
that
then
was
Zoe
too
Deschanel's
hard.
in it.
Obviously
and, no,
Zoe.
I know
and
other people in that
and
movie.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, yeah.
I would not have known the black guy's name.
I know all the. I don't know their.
Dent's
I
name.
don't know his name either, but I know Arthur's name. Arthur Dent, right? No, not Arthur
Mhm.
Dent.
Yeah, Arthur Dent. is
Oh,
the main
Arthur Dent,
character.
and then it's Bebop Bloogle or something like that. His name is
the friend guy.
no. Sam Rockwell is
President.
Fleebox or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, President Bleeblock Blooblock. Anyways, I got it right.
Good job. So now we're 2-2.
We're 2-2. Great.
Well, I give you.
Well,
an
you didn't
easy
guess whether or
one.
not I was gonna give it. Did you think I was gonna
gave
get
you
it?
An easy one. No,
But did you think I was gonna get it? Oh.
I didn't guess it out loud, but I definitely did not think you were gonna get it. Alrighty, Ryan. It's about that time, my friend.
Mhm.
I
What's
gotta
up?
ask you another question.
What's
It's not
up?
part of a game show,
Oh.
but it's part of our show. This is
What's
how
that?
we feel.
Oh.
I gotta ask you, how are you feeling right about now?
You know, you did a lot of speaking from the heart last week on the Click episode. So I abandoned my writing down of my how I feels. So
Okay.
again, I'm gonna speak directly from
Give it to me on
my
the fly.
corazón. And the way my corazón feels is, I feel like Michelangelo after having just waited 30 minutes for pizza, and the pizza man being 2 minutes late, and now I get to skimp him and give him a fake Chinese proverb. That's how I feel. I feel just as giddy as Michelangelo when he gets his pizza for $2 less.
You just saved $3.
Yeah.
The tab was
After-
13. He gave him a
Yeah.
10.
I gave myself a 10 because I delivered myself the pizza technically.
Oh wow! So you feel like you're delivering yourself a pizza at only
And skipping myself and
a
then
third
feeling the
of
joy.
cost. Wow. There's a lot to think about. Wow.
Yeah, well, now I'm going to have to pull up the rest of that money for my boss. But Justin,
What's up?
how do you feel?
What's up?
How do you feel? I said.
I knew it. I knew you said it, but it cut out.
Did you cut out? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't hear shit after that. I was
What's
like,
up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? How do you feel, Justin?
Ryan, I feel like.
Give it to me.
God.
Give it to me.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Do it.
I feel like
Justin.
my favorite has always been a cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Cowabunga.
Yes. Oh,
I
that's
feel
a
like
great way to
Splinter,
feel.
not only seeing that my 4 children have grown into beautiful adult Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that I'm okay with giving them a little bit of playfulness. I'm not afraid to throw a little cowabunga here and there, you know?
You got a cowabunga sometimes, man.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're in the 3rd act, when you've finally defeated your main antagonist of your movie, you got a cowabunga somehow.
Yeah, you got a cowabunga then.
A cowabunga.
Cowabunga.
And that was how we feel. And this is the show. We're just going to link everything in the description.
Link
Rusty
in the
Ninja
bio.
Studios, link in bio. This is how we feel the podcast. I'm your boy, Justin Vignes, Baby J. Find me on somewhere. This is your boy, R Dizzle. Where can they find you?
Ryan Diaz. You can find me at FireX11 on Twitter. Rusty Ninja Studios on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe.
And yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Cowabunga! Cowabunga!
This is how we feel. 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 That was the one.
Ooh, that was good.
Last one
I
was
felt the
better.
harmony.
Yeah.